Ah, it's backwards. All right. Sorry, folks. My dog decided to try to run away, so I'm running a few minutes behind. Yeah. All right. I need one other piece, and we should be good to go since I'm saying this for the rewatch crowd, not me, or not the lack of anyone here. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, my mic just ran away. Yeah. All right. Hopefully that works. I got to bring this up on my other phone, which is almost out of battery. Hey, this is right on top. All right, can I hear myself? Okay. Feel free to say hey in the live chat down below. And let me let's switch this out real quick. It's funny, I say this and I hear it like 10 seconds later. I was typing it out. That's one I'm going to start with. Oh, it's a spare drill battery. Oh, it's still pulled up. This is not close as it was this morning. There it is. Alright, so now we're just going to square this up. Since this is not, clearly not a square piece of wood, I need to be dead center there. I've got to pause what's in my ear because I've got like a 3 to 5 second delay in it, and it throws me off really bad. All right, there we go. Now I need to mark out the middle of that, so I need a nice straight piece of wood or a straight edge. I say straight piece of wood because these are pre-milled. These are going to be my honey dippers that are in the process of getting made. There's my center point of this block, which means it should run fairly square. We're going to take a lot of wood off. Usually I would, for something like this, I would actually put it on the miter saw or band saw and drill it out, but I didn't get any of that stuff prepared because I wasn't thinking. So we are going to do this the fun way. 5/16, so I need 8 millimeter. That's an 8 millimeter. It almost looks like it might be the 3/8 I need, but I really don't think it is. I don't recall ever buying a Cobalt 7 millimeter. 13/32, that's definitely not a 3/8. A fancy 5/16. That's a 7 millimeter. I'll tell you that just by feel. 11/32. There it is. My 3/8. Yet I always feel like I need more. Good. Put it where it should have been. Now what we're using that for is because I have a wood screw on this chuck. My earbud tries to fall out. And what you do is I drill a nice 3/8 inch hole. Push this in. I have to unlock this. You just hold it square. And that worm screw, wood screw, I forget the official term for it. Just pulls it in there nice and tight. Now, if we did this right, it shouldn't vibrate too much. Oh, thankful. Thank. I was doing some bowls last night, and I don't have this set up for the normal full speed runs that I usually do. So we're just going to do this about where I need it. I will warn you, this is a high likelihood that somebody's breaking off today. So if anything goes flying, well, I ain't fooling around. I'm actually going to have everything I need. Because I've been dipped at 120. That's that. Fish. Because I feel like this phone's not keeping me up to date with what's going on. I'm gonna sneak back here. Again, I'm just staying out of the line of fire if this thing goes that you guys are in. Oh, cool. I didn't know I had another. All right. I need to flip one thing over real quick. I don't want to make you guys dizzy. That's better. All right. Here's something weird. Oh, it's probably water in my bottles over there. All right. Don't be afraid to say hey in a live chat too. All right. Now we're gonna start chipping off this away slowly but surely. Got a better plan. That's gonna take forever. How's everybody doing? Never had that happen before. My worm screw broke loose. Crank this up nice and tight. This is why we're going super slow on these today. Plus, this wood is cold, and sometimes you get some weird effects. I mean, look at how rough that is. That's why they call this part roughing. All right, let's try this again. This one ain't gonna work. Let's try a different block of wood. This is the nice thing about having a ton of wood ready. Just gonna lock this. See if I can get that one to work later. Trying to get some bigger pieces because I got the ability to get some in the store right now. So Let's go with this one. So I just did it to little brother last night. This is why I invested in both sides of the center finders. Whenever you're doing this, you always hit all four sides because sometimes they're not always perfectly square. I think this one is actually not. Okay, you get to that beam right here. As I grab my drill, my arm leaned over there. If that was perfectly square, that would just be a cross. Since it's not a cross, that means it's not perfectly square. So that's when we just work around it and really do not like that. Oh, shoot. I gotta cut the corners off of these ones. I'll do that later. I got some smaller ones we can do. I got a baby bull right here. It's already marked. But that one's got a bunch of screws sticking out of it, so. Another one now? Oh, there it is. Yeah. We got the block of hickory. These are some of the first bowl blanks I ever bought. I've had them for a few years. So it's definitely past time to get rid of them. Here's my buckle. Definitely not the most squarely cut. I don't know if you guys can see the $12.99 written on it, but that's what I paid for it. What's up, everybody? Don't be afraid to say hey in the live chat. If you guys got any questions, throw them out. And come on. Are you serious? Why is this thing not grabbing this thing? I've never had one of these wood screws fight me this much. If it fights me again, I'm grabbing my faceplate and I'm doing it a different way. This is just a quick, easy way. Rearrange that, grab this. Alright. Since I'm seeing new people jumping in, if you got any questions, throw them in the live chat in between cuts. I do have my other phone sitting here where I can actually see it. So, yeah, throw them up. Oh, dull. That was a negative break. I ain't gonna lose. Just checking that. How's everybody doing? This one, the red one's definitely acting up today. Wow. Sorry, I keep seeing wood pop up on there, and I think it's a new message. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I can do both. Oh, we look. Wow, under all that wax, that wood's beautiful. By the way, that's what all this light colored crackled stuff is. It's just wax that's gotten cold and is cracked from the temperature. Because once stuff's dried, if you buy it online like I did with this, a lot of times they'll seal it with that, so that way when they ship it, it doesn't gain moisture or anything, because wood does breathe naturally. Just fun fact. Turn the speed up a little bit. Get to about 1,000. There we go. Now that this thing's warmed up, it's like, I don't even know how cold it is in here, but it takes a minute for it to warm up so it actually gets up to speed. But here we go. I'm really out of practice with these gouges. Hmm. Hmm. Now what we get to do is we're gonna hit the bottom, put our tenon on so I can get the next chuck on it, which I've got to get that set up quick. One I did last night, I did not do a good job setting it up with, so it was way too big. You want your chuck open about 1/8 of an inch on all that, because that's when you get a near perfect circle from when they machine it and then cut it into quarters. Makes life a lot easier this where you can keep things. Gonna need that tool as well. Pinch that. That was getting dull. Or that needs sharpened pile. Grinder's warm. All right, because this is starting to give me a little bit of resistance, so I got about probably 2-3 more cuts up the edge, and then it's going to need to get sharpened. There we go. And we still got a minor flat right there, so we're going to come back to that. That's looking good. All right, now we're going to do the tenon. This is what I'm going to use for the next step to mount this to the lathe. For those of whom that don't know, I don't know if I got anybody experienced on lathes or not watching. All right. We're going to check our fit. It's a hair tight, so we just got to open this up a little bit, and then we're good to go. That's pretty good. Now we just got to dress this up so it keeps the timing just right. That's what this tool's for. Its only purpose is to do this cut. You just feed it in straight, and it puts a little bit of an angle on the piece. Just up the hair there, cutting quite right. We do that because if you look real close, there is an angle there that actually allows that to fit that angle perfect and let's hold a little tighter. And with that, worried about this thing going off on me now. So we are going to have a little fun. I always put a little design in here just because it dresses it up a little bit. 5 little lines and then all right. Now with that, we get the sand. And I think I'm going to grab another one down. For long-time viewers, I usually throw the first one away, but with as cold as it is, that's why I always leave the 60 grits with everything. That's perfect. I have one of these to throw off in a while. First one just screws right back together. How are we doing? And if you've been here, I can't tell. I keep seeing my count going all over the place. And I think put feet up. Yeah. How do I feel a bump? That's what I feel, a bump. Ain't getting that out. Looks like there's a knot or something right there that's just on the very edge. This is just as effective. Well, the other one's a little more, but it's not wanting to spin right. While I'm alone, I want to check something in my settings. Can't see my battery's down. Ooh, that's special. 78%. Yeah. I'm trying out a setting change real quick. Okay, this mic wasn't even transmitting. Figure out why. I'm back. We got spray bottles working. Do not. Here. Usually I use a spray bottle, but I forgot to take them in last night, so everything's frozen solid. So this is a trick called popping the grain. You just get it wet, and it causes all the little fibers. They get pressed over by the sandpaper to stand back up. Gives you a smoother sand when everything's done. I've got to pause my earbuds again because I cannot talk with hearing myself on a 3-second delay. All right. Here's that. All right. This is going to have some really pretty coloring in it. This is going to be a hard one to sell for me. Some of these I get them and I don't want to get rid of them because they're just too pretty. I don't have any alcohol out here either. And I say that because you spray these down with isopropyl alcohol. It dries in about a minute or so, and then it'll actually should give you an idea what your finish is going to look like. It's a trick I use whenever I'm doing bigger sanding jobs to make sure I haven't missed anywhere. If I have, I catch it before I add finish because it makes it a little bit easier to fix any issues earlier you catch it. It was just water that looks amazing too. Yeah, that's going to be a hard one for me to let go of. I grab a quick swig of my drink and get back to sanding. Don't let the bottle fool you. If you guys can see it, it's just grape soda. We'll see somebody that just joined. How we doing? Going away. By the way, if you're still here, the counter on the public for YouTube, it's weird. It doesn't always work. All right. While I'm sanding and we're taking care of this, if anybody's watching now, throw it in the live chat or later throw it in the comments. I'm going to be doing a lot of pens and stuff coming up. If you guys are wanting live streams of when I'm working, let me know because it doesn't add much more complication to doing this if I know I'm doing them ahead of time. I'm not going to do the most boring bits with you guys, like when I'm just drilling out blanks. Because, yeah, I mean, that's just tedious. This thing again. Oh, I was working on some cutting boards earlier and I'm running out of wood. I've only got cherry, hickory, maple, and a little bit of ash left. Still frozen. There. Ah. It's amazing how much rougher this gets just by adding a little bit of water. I'm gonna keep that one there. Need my drying towel. And all I'm doing with this is just applying a little friction to dry the water up. If the friction heats it up, then it steams off. Just be I really like this. That's going to be a really pretty piece of wood. Hope I have enough foil for today. I got a brand new one in the house I forgot to grab when I came out here. Oil that up and let it dry for a minute. Seriously, don't be afraid to say hey in the comments. Or I'm sorry, live chat, not comments. I don't bite and I'm always willing to answer questions. There. Turn this on low. Now for the best part. The initial oiling. Actually, let's do it the fun way so you guys can see too. Put a good little bit on. How's everybody doing? Getting through the storm okay? If you're getting hit by it? Yeah. That's the first one. I'm going to do the outside of a couple more before we start hitting the insides of them. That's special. Just realized I forgot to do beeswax. Whoops. Don't be afraid to say hey in the live chat. I am willing to take questions, comments, concerns. While I'm in between thinking other stuff. This is just a hard beeswax I apply to the outside. It helps seal it up better. Gives it a little bit of a shine, but also keeps it down so it doesn't look like it's plastic. It's one of my little things I do to everything when I'm done. Just heat it up, work it in. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but I can actually see where I'm pressing and the reflection from the light. And I just chase that back and forth until I don't see it changing very much. Then I know it's fully worked in, as deep as it can go. And then, yeah. Again, I don't know how well it shows up in the camera, but it does give a noticeable brighter shine without, like I say, making it look like it's plastic, which I absolutely hate when wood is so shiny that it's plastic. Hard to believe that it started off as that crackly stuff. I had no idea what was underneath all that. Let's try work at elm. I don't think I've ever actually worked with elm. But this, for anybody that's joining now, this is how I find the center for when I put a drill bit, or when I drill the hole to mount it on the lathe. This marker's not working very well, but it is marking in the wax. So if it left any black mark at all, I'd show you guys. You always do all four corners, so that way you know you're truly centered. Because if anything's off on this, it's going to be off when we put it on. A little more. And all this is a screw that I'm putting this into. It's a 3/8 drill bit that I pre-drill to get it started. And there we go. And this is covered in wax, so that's why it might look a little funny to the eye. And they do that when it's after it's been kiln dried to seal it so it doesn't get any water. I'm sorry, moisture in it. It's the same thing, but yeah. So that, throw this thing back on. Here we go. Just checking for it. Seriously, if you guys got any questions, throw it down in the live chat down below. Don't forget to like and share the video because it does help get me out there. And I don't make money with this, I just do it for fun. And if it ever changes, you better believe I'll tell you when I'm making money. But yeah. We still got a couple flat spots, so we got to keep going. A couple more little ones, but in the final shaping and sanding, they'll get worked out. That's a little trick where I use the opposite wing to put a blade finish on it. I need one more good pass because I'm still seeing a few spots that are deep. And this one, I think we're going to burn a couple lines into, just to be different. All right. And we're going to start the body. All right. Still got a little bit of tear out, but nowhere near as bad as it normally is. Now this is for the tenon that'll mount the bottom end so we can follow the actual bowl out. There's been a message from Jeff's site. Nope, not interested. All right. All right. There's that. Now we're gonna put a little a couple little decorations on it. This isn't stuff I always do, but when I do, you can always tell that I had a little bit of fun. This is a texturing tool. It'll leave a pretty cool looking pattern in the bottom. Like that. And like I said, we're going to put a little line on the top too. Make it two. Now, before we get too far into this, we're going to use the wired nunchucks. What I like to call my nunchucks, just because it's funny to me. Okay. And this is literally burning it with friction to put those black marks on there. And with that, I think I've done a few pens at Elm and didn't know. This is really pretty wood. Turn that back on the hammer. Grab the bowl sander. All right. I really like this. I realized I forgot to do something to this. I gotta dress this up so it'll be ready to rock and roll for the show. Yeah. I want to make sure my chest's not letting me down on my phone again. So we're going to throw that off and keep going. You count's letting me down, but not my chest. Yeah. Figured it'd be snowing by now. Figured, figured y'all be one that since the chat. Oh well. It's getting cold out here. Sorry, folks, my shoulders are killing me today, so I can only stay bent over like that over one of these for so long before I gotta stretch. Okay. Wow, that's looking good. All right, that's starting to thaw out. That's wax. That's what. We're gonna put them away. Fell. That's why I can't find it. All right. Wow, that's beautiful. All right. All right. There. Gonna start doing the insides. And then we are going to. Nobody's got any questions by then. I think I might call it. I'll be honest, what I was listening to just ended, so I'm not currently looking at the chat. Pressure. All right. And I see I still haven't missed anything in live chat. Stuff. Should not feel that bad. All right. I'm gonna try to have these done by 7. It's if the store I'm gonna take them to wants them. I'm gonna tag them in this after I'm done too. All right. This one is dull after all. All right. On the wood. A couple things. All right. That's a little better for you. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm stealing me a Reese cup since I brought a few out here with me. Yummy. Yeah, this is gonna be a hard one to give up. Ow. Hmm. That hurt. All right. Yeah. Shoot. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that wasn't. But this was the one that was screwed up. These are all going inside with me tonight. Two left. Yeah. I'm gonna find out if I'm running these out tonight or not. So finding out if the store wants these tonight or not. Oops. We're about half done with the sanding of the harder of the two boards. And I got to board it down one more time, there's some finish on it, and we're on to the other bolt. It sounds like I'm going to be able to get these there tonight. So if you guys are interested, Hosner Gallery in Massillon, Ohio. I'll get their info in the description later. That way it's easier to find. Plus, I'm going to tag them in the description when I'm done, since they're going there. All right, this is the second to last grit, so we're going to wet it down one more time, dry it out, put some oil in. All right, and while that dries, I'm going to reply to this text real quick. That's what I like to feel right there. Stick your fingers on the lip and I just want to slide right in, no resistance at all. Sorry, but my leg is on fire. All right. Make sure I'm not going to trip on that. I'm going to cheat for doing the oil on the inside. We're going to leave this mounted and pull it off. All right. All right. And yeah, we've already put this on the outside, but I'm just making doubly sure that everything is sealed up nice. And I'm not going to wax the inside because I don't think it adds much, since that's what's going to be getting the most abuse. And there's one down, one to go. Now we're going to flip that upside down so it doesn't get full sawdust. So if you run over there to Hosner and grab it, you're not going to get a bunch of sawdust. All right. And if you're ever turning bowls with tenons like this, make sure you do not crank on your chuck as hard as you can. I've actually had them split in half right on the lathe. Sometimes they'll split when they're just sitting there. Other times, if you go too thin, which, I mean, makes sense, but. All right, sorry, I'm just getting everything straightened out. All right. Just that, we have 0 live viewers. That's awesome. So exciting. We're going to use a different tool, which is specifically designed to hollow on this one. So I don't think Elma's is hard. I really should have been using on the other one too, but heck. That takes a lot of that out of there. You can use the bowl gouges like I was using on the outsides too, but they take a lot longer and they give you a better finish, but I still got to sand them, so I just take a little more time with the higher grits or the lower grits to um, level everything out. Like I'm already at the optimum depth for that. So now I just start from there and bring it out and open it up. All right. Ah. All right. I'm going to hang on to this for later. We're going to use the rest of it to. I've behaved entirely far too long. I can go deeper than that. Oh yeah, I need to go deeper than that. That bottom's still way too thick. Run, Joel. Amazing how 3 or 4 passes like that is all it takes. I remember when I first started doing this, that would have taken me almost an hour to get all that out of there. All right. Okay, for the amount of sanding these bowls take, I actually go through 2 of these packs when I can usually get just about a full 6 to 7 pens out of one. Mm. Still hoping somebody wants to talk to me on chat, so I keep looking. Although now I'm committed to having these dropped off tonight, which means I got to be out of here as soon as possible, so I can't hang around too much when this is done. But if anybody hops in here, I can always chit chat while I'm letting the dog out and getting ready with my camera off. All right, we're gonna hit this with some water after this one. Yeah. Ooh, I don't like that edge at all. Sometimes as you get to working on these, you'll find that the outside edge gets a little sharp when you're done with the inside. So always want to double check that when you got a higher grit sandpaper. I try to get it before I get to 6, 7, or 6 to 800, because then it doesn't do. It's still aggressive enough to dig into it, but it's high enough to not do any real major damage quick. Yeah. Okay. Since I'm seeing people coming back, how we doing? Feel free to hit me up in the chat with any questions. This is the second of the two we're working on tonight on this one. As soon as it's done, I got to get rolling, unfortunately. These are going to be available for sale tonight, though. So unless anybody hits me up before I get to the store. I do ship as well. Speaking of shipping, that reminds me, I got to find something. Think of that. Oh, I'm have to get digging real quick. All right, now we're gonna pop our grain again. That's where I just spray it with some water. Because what the sandpaper will do is as it abrates, it lays the fibers of the wood flat. When you get them wet and let them dry, they stick back up. So you get a much smoother sand overall when you're done. And if anything ever gets exposed to water, rain, I mean, it's a bowl, so If you're going to use it for something wet, it doesn't change how it feels when you're done. I do the same thing to my cutting boards, except the boards I will pop the grain after every grit. But I've already stopped sanding with the grit that I'm on now with the cutting boards, just because I'm not going to do a cutting board with a piece of sandpaper that big. The prices would go astronomical. That piece of wire is how I actually put those black marks in there. I'm just using it to clean them out a little bit as well, just so you guys know. I'm not sure if you've been here the whole time or not, because my live count's not always accurate. We're going to do the last green pop after the next sandpaper. Sorry, in 2 sandings. This is at 800. We're going to do it after 2000 before we hit it with the 3000. You guys want to go back from the beginning? I took these from square to this. I've done 2. The other one's right here. I really don't want to give this one up. It's entirely too pretty. So I might do what I do sometimes. Set a date. If it doesn't sell by, it's mine. After said date. All right, that's this one is when we're going to puff the grain the last time. Don't ask me why I grab my hand and wrist like this. I've always done it. Actually, it's because it helps me keep control over everything a little bit better. In case that I was confused. That. And I really can do this and talk to you guys. So if you got questions, don't hesitate. All right. That's another pretty one. I hate selling wood. I hate selling wood. These look too good. Ouch. It really does break my heart sometimes to let some of these go. I'm happy to do it, but I love the way the wood looks. Starting to see my breath. Oh no. That stinks. My audiobook just ended. It's the second one I've ended with on this stream. All right, we're gonna do the same trick as the last one for the replay peeps out there. I'm just gonna unscrew this. A little bit of oil. Need a little more oil than that. All right. All right. That is another beautiful bowl. I forgot how much fun bowl turning can be. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to let this go. If you guys want to ask any other questions before I head out, throw them in the chat. I'll leave the mic on while I'm looking for something. And yeah. And if you guys don't ask anything, then hey, hope you have a good night. Stay safe with this snowstorm coming through the south. And I'm going to get back into my live stream about that because I was kind of like, that sounds really bad.